Now, fourth and final on the list, I want to talk about gut health and craving cycles that can lead to inflammation and metabolic syndrome. After the age of 40, gut diversity. Salam and hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are all doing very well. In today's video, I want to talk about why do sugar cravings seem to sneak up on us after the age of 40, and why does it feel harder than ever to control? You know, it's not just about willpower, I will say that. There are things like hormones, stress, sleep, and even our gut plays a role. But honestly, the bigger picture is very complex, because if these sugar cravings go unchecked, we could be at risk for diabetes, heart disease, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. So let's dig into about 4 to 5 reasons why this happens. But just as important, I want to talk about what you can actually do about it. So let's dive in. So first on the list is hormonal shifts and blood sugar swings, which could potentially lead to type 2 diabetes and excess belly fat. As estrogen and progesterone fluctuate in perimenopause and menopause, insulin sensitivity tends to decrease. That means blood sugar spikes and dips are more common, fueling stronger sugar cravings. Research shows that postmenopausal women experience higher post-meal glucose levels, and over time this pattern also increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, belly fat, and cardiovascular disease. Now, all that being said, let's talk about some solutions. One solution could be build your meals with a lot of protein and fiber and healthy fats, because that helps slow digestion and stabilize blood sugar. One thing we can also think about is swapping out high sugar, high carb foods with low sugar, high protein foods. So get rid of the muffins, get rid of those cereal bars, and try to eat yogurt with some granola or some low fat, very clean granola, a little bit of honey, a drizzle of honey, or some fresh fruit, for example. And then think about the fresh fruits, apples, berries, and almond butter. Think about those simple swaps that can keep you full but can lower the amount of sugar that you're consuming day in and day out, and that's going to be helpful for you. I'll leave some links in the description box for some easy swap outs that might be able to help you. The second thing on the list is stress and cortisol overdrive, which could lead to heart disease and inflammation. Life stress raises cortisol, the hormone that tells our body we need energy now, we're stressed out, we need to adapt quickly. And that is usually, the adaptation comes with sugar. Chronic high cortisol and high sugar intake contribute to inflammation, high triglycerides, and the increased risk of heart disease in midlife women. So one of the solutions I want you to think about is stress relief practices, walking, journaling or writing, stretching, short mindfulness breaks, talking to a professional if you need to, that can help you figure out how to manage your life and how to manage that stress in your life. And then also talking to the people in your life around you, your family. What can they do to help you? If it's a work-related stress issue, what can your manager do to help you? So I know sometimes you don't trust your managers, or you don't feel comfortable with your managers, so it's going to be harder for you, or it might be harder for you, but hopefully it's not, and that you have a good system internally and externally that you're working with. Now, with regards to food, that is where I want you to start looking at eliminating those candy from your diet, from your vicinity, from your everywhere, and try nuts with dark chocolate or protein bars with at least 10 grams of protein. Just be careful of your calorie count with the protein bars. You don't want to consume protein bars with upwards of 2 to 250, 300 calories. Always make sure that your protein bars have at least 10 grams of protein or more. And then when you're considering, your seeds and nuts, think about pumpkin seeds, cashews, almonds. Those are high in good fats, but lower in those, simple fats, or those low in sugar, for example. That's what I'm really trying to say. So consider all of that. And again, I'll include some more information in the description box so you can go to learn about these easy food swaps from reputable sources. Now, third on the list, sleep changes and nighttime snacking that could lead to weight gain as well as metabolic dysfunction. insomnia, hot flashes, and stress disturb sleep in perimenopause. Research shows that poor sleep disrupts ghrelin, the hunger signal in our bodies, and leptin, the satiety signal in our bodies, pushing you towards sugary, carb-heavy foods. Repeated poor sleep plus sugar spikes equals weight gain, so insulin resistance and the greater risk of diabetes. So if you find yourself waking up in the middle of the night to raid your fridge or your pantry for ice cream, for candy, for soda, for sugary pop, anything that you feel like can satisfy that sweet tooth, you should think about what's really going on, especially if you're waking up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep. Something else is going on there. And so what I want to tell you is with regards to the solution, protect your sleep. Consistent bedtime routines that include no caffeine after 2 p.m., or you could probably drink a calming tea if you need something, or even light evening stretching. Some of you like to do some evening stretching to relax your body. That is going to be some things that you want to consider. For late night hunger, swap, for example, you've eaten your dinner and you still find yourself a little hungry. Remove the cookies and the cakes and the pies and go for bananas with peanut butter or cottage cheese or berries and the rice cakes. Those are really good for you. Those can be really good for you. So I want you to think about some healthy swaps. I think most of the time we don't really understand that diet really is 80 to 90% of our health, and then we have 10 to 20% of everything else, including the exercise. But with regards to food, especially if you're trying to recomp and lose weight, it starts with the diet. And I think swapping food can be a very good way for you to consider getting healthy, especially with regards to these sugar cravings, which, as I mentioned before, have a lot of damaging effects down the road that we may not be aware of at the time that, could be consuming all of this sugar. Now, fourth and final on the list, I want to talk about gut health and craving cycles that can lead to inflammation and metabolic syndrome. After the age of 40, gut diversity declines. So some gut bacteria thrive on sugar, and the more you feed them, the more they, in a sense, demand it. This imbalance fuels cravings and contributes to inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, and higher cardiovascular risk, which is serious for women. In terms of solutions, I want you to figure out how to support your gut health with prebiotics. Prebiotics includes oats, oatmeal, garlic, onions, asparagus, and probiotics includes kefir, sauerkraut, unsweetened yogurt, for example. You might also be taking an over-the-counter biotic, prebiotic, probiotic, so some of you are doing this, but just make sure that it's a quality product that you are taking consistently. And when I say quality product, I mean products that have good manufacturing processes. It's from a reputable source. It's not something that has good reviews, for example. These are ways you can figure out if a product is good. So I want you to consider, if that's a product that you want to try, to consider those three things: the good manufacturing practices, the reviews that are online, even though some reviews are paid reviews or can be fluff. Just try to do your due diligence to look around for a good product that might work for you. I don't have any recommendations in terms of products at this time, but hopefully you will be able to find a good one. And then over time, I believe it can be helpful in retaining those cravings, getting those cravings out of the way, and supporting your metabolism and helping you adjust so that your body is not feeling like it's craving sugar all the time. That's a part of the issues that I see a lot of people saying they just crave that sugar, they need that sugar. But think of some alternatives. You might be hungry, you might be thirsty, you might be dehydrated. So these are just some of the things to think about as you are trying to kick that sugar addiction. So as a reminder, sugar cravings after 40, they're not just in our heads. They are real. They are tied to hormones, stress, sleep, and even gut health. And when left in imbalance and not checked and not taken care of properly, they can raise the risk for diabetes, heart disease, and chronic inflammation. But there is good news, and that is you don't have to struggle. You can just start by doing some meal balancing, some swaps, reducing your stress, protecting your sleep, and supporting your gut health. So hopefully this information will allow you to start small, but also help to manage those cravings and begin to shift you in the right direction of health and wellness. So I hope that this information in the video has been beneficial for you. I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.